at the front of the 380, there's a bar where you can sit and have dinner and drinks. It's fucking nuts.
Not what I thought Guinness was going to taste like.
Could you imagine our bottles on that shelf? They would stick out like fucking dog's balls.
Here's the body. Here's all the robots putting it all together. And they're making 385,000 MP rotators a week.
And I just loved the idea of taking something from nothing and turning it into something.
Yeah, when we went from LAX to San Diego, we would have passed millions and millions and millions of homes.
In the car park at the DFO, you could see the fence between California and Mexico. Are you excited by the?
Yeah.
By the.
I think I was a bit thinner in that picture than
do you
I
think
am now,
was,
though.
Have you weighed yourself since we got back?
Yeah, I actually didn't put on any weight.
Yeah. I think a lot of we walked a lot.
Yeah.
But also, when you're staying in an Airbnb with no food, you just don't eat.
Yeah.
Like you just.
Yeah, there was no snacks. I mean, we had those Doritos a couple of times, but
gosh,
they were good Doritos.
For anyone that hasn't been to the United States of America, this won't surprise anyone that has some understanding of the United States of America, but their Doritos have more flavor on them. So I've got this theory that the Australian legislation requires there to be like a certain percentage of artificials. And so Twisties have gotten shit in the last 5 to 10 years. They don't have the same powder on them. And the Doritos are the same. They're basically just a corn chip with no flavor. So I bought a bag of Doritos at like a 7-Eleven in America, and the bag was heavier. It was 190 grams or something instead of 95. I think they're 95 over here.
150.
It just felt fucking weighty.
It was dense.
Yeah. And it was so good. So, excuse me, what I'm going to do from now on when I come back to Australia is I'm going to bring Doritos. Or we just have to find them. Can you spend the afternoon on that, Dylan? Just find some American-made Doritos that are available in Australia, unless you've got something important to do. Cool. So I thought, obviously, we're pre-recording today's podcast, episode number 54.
Live 54.
Brett Burton. I don't fucking know. Oh, it's a special live podcast. Yeah. This was all planned. Yeah. Whoa, man. So today's obviously Friday, the first Friday of Live. Jonesy and I are both at Live, so that's why this podcast is being pre-recorded. And I thought because we missed the podcast last week because of some flight issues, that we would talk about the USA and the recent trip that we made, Jonesy's first trip out of Gawler.
Yep.
So, yeah. Where have you been in Australia?
I've been North Queensland, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast,
Burra?
Sydney. I've been to Burra, yes.
Won the trip.
Melbourne, High Country, Tasmania, most of South Australia.
Dylan's already found the chips, so that's handy.
Oh.
Okay, thanks, Dylan.
Yeah.
Good work.
Great podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Hey, I'm an innocent bystander. They saying I drove a get.
My computer's gone to sleep. Don't be that person. This never happens. Oh, because there's a video playing the whole time. All right, so I just got to keep my eye on that.
Yeah.
Multi-skilled. So today I thought we'd talk about the trip to the US and just get a bit of insight from you about the things that kind of excited you or that surprised you, that were different. But what I want to do first is go through some photos that we took in the USA. And you can we're going to play, talk to me about this photo.
All right.
All right?
Let's go.
All right. So the first photo.
Yes. So that was after all the fuckery that was.
So for people that are listening to this podcast and not watching it on YouTube or Spotify, this is a photo of Adam Jones and Matt Irving sitting next to each other in a romantic situation on the business class end of an A380, sipping what looks to be
Dreamliner.
Dreamliner. Sorry, my bad. I'm getting better with my planes. Drinking what looks to be bubbly white wine.
No, it was champagne.
Proper champagne.
Yeah, they cracked the champagne
from France.
Yeah, it was. Of those of you that can see it and those of you that don't see it, what that image probably doesn't show. Well, it does kind of the relief of us actually getting there. It turned from being landing in San Francisco, giving us 2.5 hours to get to the terminal, to landing in San Francisco and giving us 30 minutes to get to the terminal. And we'd never been there before, and we were unsure whether you had to go out and back through security. So I suppose one thing we learned is that San Francisco is just one big airport. And
whereas if you were in LAX, you'd have to go through
out and come all the way back in.
But if you're in Sydney, you have to get in a fucking bus.
Yeah, get in the bus. So No, and that was we boarded, we got into the Champers, then I think Evo had a bourbon and I had a red wine and kept following that bottle. And I was very fortunate to be in business class.
Last time I flew with Evo business class, he had about 15 bourbons.
Yeah.
And I think like nearly died.
Yeah, I mean it's doable. They were very nice, the Qantas staff. They were.
We are looking for a flight sponsor if anyone wants to start flying us to the US once a quarter. What Jonesy, I guess the more detail of this story is that they were flying premium economy and bid for upgrades and both got the upgrade. And all three of us were originally on the same flight coming out of LA. We were going to wake up, go back to this expo, this golf expo that we were at, walk around, shake hands, kiss babies, have a meeting with a fertilizer manufacturer that's based in Texas, drive our car back up to LA, park the car, go to the lounge. We had another person with us who had access to the lounge. They'd all had business class upgrades, so all of them got upgrades. So we're going to sit in the lounge and drink. And then on the plane that we were originally on, it's an A380, so all of us could have sat in at the front of the 380. There's a bar where you can sit and have dinner and drinks. It's fucking nuts. So I was on the plane on my own.
Yes.
And these fuckers flew up to San Francisco. They rushed like crazy to get to their flight, and I sat in the Qantas lounge for 8 or 9 hours.
And ate all the food.
I don't know. Oh, I did eat all the food.
You had 5 meals or something come through.
Yes, I did actually. Yeah, it was really good. And then I didn't eat on the plane because I was so full.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't.
But, my flight, I sat on the tarmac for another 2 hours on top of that. So, it was probably funny that the trip was quite casual right up to the last minute, and then it was just out of control.
Yeah, well, I mean, our first flight got cancelled and rebooked because of mechanical issues, but
no light globe in the toilet.
No light globe in the toilet. That's right. But that photo there is a. I mean, it's
an
a nice
exhale.
It was an exhale moment because I mean we're in a country. Well, I'm in a country I've never been in.
Well, you've never been out off the. Have you been to Tassie?
Yeah, I've been to Tassie.
So you've been off mainland Australia.
Yeah.
But you've never been out of Australia.
No, and I've never flown an airline like United. Yep. Like it's only ever been Qantas, Virgin, Jetstar, Tiger, Rex. And to be on a flight like United and I would say that their onboarding is a lot more relaxed. And
I don't give a fuck about you.
I wasn't really used to that. And then I suppose to add context to that picture as well, 3 hours before that, when you booked our flight to United, it was all on time. And then we got a message saying that the poor weather out of San Fran had delayed and staged flights. And then we got to the airport. We were delayed by 17 minutes, and then we were delayed by a further 40 minutes.
Because I booked that flight for you while we were driving to the airport.
80 mile an hour on the freeway.
In a 55 zone. No one gives a shit.
And there was a cop with a radar, and there's cars overtaking us, and no one got
I reckon
over.
he was just looking through, like, he was watching one of those kaleidoscopes.
Yeah,
like,
just
this is the best.
Yeah.
Now that like weed's legal in California,
that's
the
right.
cops is like,
So we were 57 minutes behind, and then we went out on the runway. We went from one side of LAX to the other, and then the plane powered down, and then we were on the runway for 50 minutes. So we're 2 hours behind schedule.
And that was in economy.
That was in economy.
In different seats.
In different seats, next to this whinging person behind me, whinging about everything. And then, we had to then run from one side of the terminal in San Francisco. And when I mean run, I mean full stick. We're sprinting, got there, 5 minutes to spare, and then, turns out that we were also stuck on the runway for about an hour because of the poor weather. But all fun and games. We got there in the end. But that was a very big exhale moment. And I suppose, if anything, I've learned that sometimes when people running through the airport, it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
So you always assume that if someone's running, it's because they're an idiot and didn't get to the airport quick enough.
Yes, and it was literally like a movie running through the airport with people like spreading out and just letting us run through. And it was fun.
Did you run behind Ervo?
No, I'd left him for dead at that point because my theory was if I got to the gate,
you can argue for it.
I could be like, he's coming, just wait. Yeah. And we got there with 5 minutes to spare. So it was full on.
All of that running between wickets coming into...
Yeah, well, actually, I strained my drive a little bit. If I'm being completely honest, it was very, very sore. In the next 24 hours, but
should have done some stretches while you were sitting on the fucking runway waiting.
Should have.
That sucks. Getting stuck. You were in middle seats on the.
I was in middle seat and just
sitting there for 2 hours.
Like I could talk about this story for hours, but basically, just before we landed, we also heard confirmation that flights coming into San Fran weren't landing properly, so they were taking back off. So we needed to land because if they sent us up, we didn't know how long we were going to be circling for before they let us back.
And this was to try and avoid having to go to stay in LA for one more night.
Yeah.
Right. So you had a flight the next night.
Yeah. At like 10:30 the next night.
So this was like boosting to San Fran, which cost I think another $700 just to get you there.
Yeah.
So that you could get home to family on time. Yeah.
And then, so we heard that flights into San Fran were taking back off because they couldn't land properly. We also got a message over the PA on our flight to say that there were 2 people at the back of the plane, which was not Irvo and I, and they had priority access to get off the plane because they had a connecting flight
but they wouldn't have known about your connecting
with
flight.
Air New Zealand, right? And then I was like, well, I've got a connecting flight with Qantas. And then it turns out it wasn't official. But then it turns out that about a third of that plane all had connecting international flights. So no one gave a fuck. Yeah. So as soon as that seatbelt sign went off, I flicked off my seatbelt, jumped over the guy next to me, flipped open the overhead things, pulled my bags down and ran down the middle of the hallway of the plane, and then met up with Irvo and just told him to run and we'll go. And
when I landed in Sydney, I landed at the time my flight was leaving.
Yes.
So it was like 10:26 for a 10:30 or 10:15 for a 10:30. And I was greeted at the door of the plane by a Qantas employee who escorted me through security to make sure I got through to the 12:30.
Yeah.
And I reckon I got to all through all of the gates and shit 20 minutes before we boarded.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts. And then they put me back in economy.
Yeah, that's not great. But
what is that? First world problems?
First world problems. But yeah, it was that photo, I think I'll forever, as long as I have a living memory, I will forever remember that photo as
Exhale.
Exhale, yeah. Oh yeah. Kansas City barbecue. So that was the bar that they use in the original Top Gun. That was pretty cool. If I noticed one thing, I thought it would be kept up a little bit better, but being that it's an old movie prop and they're probably trying to keep it legit, I understand. And the guy didn't fill the beers to the top.
That happens a lot in America. Tide's always out. He was an odd dude. The last time Matt and I went there, the guy, I think the owner was there, and he would just tell stories and But we were tired. We were very tired at that point, and we just had a massive meal at a very nice restaurant.
Anime? Yes.
Like a Michelin plate.
Michelin plate, yes.
Restaurant.
But yeah, no, that was pretty cool.
Actually, there's a photo from that. We'll explain that when we get there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
This is it.
So this is those of you that can see this, and those of you who don't, I'll explain what's going on. So we've got this high-end steak, and it was absolute.
It was a fucking tomahawk.
It was fucking unbelievable. It was cooked to perfection
with all the dipping sauces and shit in front of it there.
But you can look to the left of the photo. There's actually a caramel tart, and to sort of be quick, food was ordered for us. For the person that hosted us, that was fine, but unfortunately there just wasn't enough food for the amount of people that were there. But the amount of people that we are, and you know, we like to eat a lot of food. The dessert came out, and Clint's like, "Should we just get another steak?"
No,
and
the dude came out and says, "Like, can I offer you dessert?
Yeah,
we've got this, we've got that." I'm like, "Can we just get another steak?"
But at that time, dessert had also been ordered, so we had steak and dessert come out at the same time, and the waiter had a very strong opinion.
He had a fucking meltdown.
He was like, yeah, steak with dessert? Fuck that.
Yep.
And yeah.
He was so angry about it.
He was very angry, but the steak and dessert combo actually went really well.
And this dinner was organised by a friend of mine who lives in San Diego. She organised for us to have dinner with a guy from New York who his family owns 70 irrigation shops down the East Coast. And I had another friend who happened to be in San Diego as well. So I met with him for beers at a brewery for 2 hours. And my plan was to have 2 beers and then meet you guys. And I had 5 beers and then met you guys. So I was like suitably charged when I got there.
But your person that you were meeting, the guest, I suppose, matched the energy quite quickly.
That he doesn't drink.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't drink.
He's just this like wired New Yorker.
No, it was really good. And that food was sensational.
I think this first steak was better than the second steak. But I don't know if I got the fat. See that bit there? That's all fat. I ate that on the first one. It was just all fat. And I was like, oh, no, not doing that. But yeah, that was an amazing restaurant.
It was.
What do we got next?
Carl
Pilkington's fucking second burger.
That's at Chili's. So That was actually a really nice burger.
I did a lot of candid photography of Jonesy while we were away because I wanted him to remember his first trip to America.
Yeah, so that was those chips were the nicest chips we had.
Yep.
While we were there. Oh,
Shake Shack.
Shacks was pretty good too.
The crinkle cut.
But no, that was a very nice burger.
That was just too big, I reckon.
It was probably too big for what we needed to eat before we had tea.
We were late.
Yeah.
We went there. We were trying to. We were at Home Depot.
Yeah, we're at
and
home.
you fuckers found that golf shop.
Yeah, that golf shop. Yeah.
So we were at Home Depot, and I'm like, we should just get something snacky. We were going to go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's right.
Because where were we meant to be? Like an opening of some shit.
The drinks overlooking the harbour.
Yeah, with Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. At the
At
brewery.
that brewery. Yeah.
Mike Hess.
And I got a refill just before we left and had to chug the refill before.
Yeah. The gauler in him said, if we're paying for this Coke, I'm drinking it.
Yeah. But no, that was very nice. Chili's.
You notice you're wearing the same jumper in most of
Yeah,
these photos.
and I was going to address that. I only had one jumper, but it had been washed.
Yeah, we stayed at an Airbnb with a washing machine and a dryer. So,
Yes. So
I did the laundry, don't worry.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that was El Gordo's. So that was breakfast at El Gordo's.
10:30?
Yeah.
11 o'clock?
And we did message Ervo, but he was still in his meeting. So Clint ate his El Gordo. But
So El Gordo's was this taco shop that
from Tijuana.
we later discovered was like kind of well known in Tijuana. And we would come home at night from the conference or we'd go past at lunch. There's a lineup out the door. They had 2 security guards working. Full time.
Even when the shop was shut.
Yeah, directing traffic. Yeah, they had security guards standing outside the door just telling people to fuck off. I think they were trying to keep the homeless people from sleeping on the benches. But you can see that the sauce is just fucking everywhere because the dude was so quick. He was just like and just made these things, and they were so good. They were pork tacos, and we had tacos. I think they're in a further photo, but the reason I put this in because Ervo cared about going here more than we did, and me and Jonesy went somewhere. Ervo woke up and had a meeting. 2 meetings. He was the only one that worked while we were there, to be honest. And he went and had his meetings, and then we went and got coffee we found a coffee shop in San Diego that makes good coffee, which is fucking nuts. It was really close as well. And on the way back, I was like, no lineup.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I wasn't even that
No,
hungry.
we weren't
I was
even
like, I
hungry.
could eat.
It was opportunity.
So we ordered 4, but they gave us 5.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm having the 3. And then we messaged Ervo. Yeah. So Ervo and I will be back in San Diego at some point soon. So
have to go to
he can go there and have them then.
Oh, that was on the is it the USS or the
USS Midway?
Yeah, USS Midway. So that was on the conference launch night, sponsored by Syngenta. And there would have been about 4,500 people at this event. The flight deck
was fucking nuts.
Was packed.
It took like half an hour to get in.
Yeah, the line was probably about a kilometre and a half long.
And 10 people wide.
It was phenomenal. Turns out that you didn't even need your ticket to get in.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't scan any.
No, they didn't.
They just gave us drink cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had to go argue for a ticket, which was oversold.
I had to argue for my ticket, because it had been
I don't have a photo of that. I got a video of you guys arguing with them. But
retracted. But no, that was cool. Then, went to the gift shop, got some Top Gun stuff. Which
those fucking jumpers. They bought these grey hoodies, and we washed them to try and get the fluff out of them,
and just created more fluff.
It was just a fluff jumper.
But no, we thought it was going to be very cold that night. We did rug up that night, but it was very nice. Got to see the jets. There was some helicopters there, and it was nice to. I don't know. You touched on it, Clint, but if you were there to see someone, you wouldn't have saw them. There was too many people there.
Yep. You're like going to a concert, like at the entertainment centre, maybe not even more bigger than that, like a concert at Adelaide Oval, and just trying to find, like knowing that you had friends there, not texting them or not ringing them, and just going, I'll catch you there, and trying to find them. It was just stupid.
And then even the second level from the flight deck was chockers as well, and
that was cool.
It would have been nice to, if we had time again, maybe to go do the tour during the day.
Fucking boring. I couldn't be fucked.
Fair enough.
It's very much your thing. I was like, I didn't even want to go to this.
Yeah.
I got there, I'm like, is this it? But yeah.
Oh, that was my first Guinness. That's right, at that Irish bar.
Yeah. McSomething at teas.
Yeah, that was
Clarities.
that was literally the size of like a shipping container. That place, it was tiny.
Had a dude playing guitar in there.
Yeah, he was on a tour.
Fuck, he liked talking. Just like start singing, dude.
But could play. I don't know what it's called. I'm not music literate, but
Guitar.
No. He played guitar, but he also did. He played before he started singing,
Oh,
recorded
like a mixer where
and then he could play that part, so he could then do other things as well. So, no, that was cool. Tipped him at the end. Gave him $5.
Literally tipped it.
Yeah. So I gave him $5 and $5 US, which is about
A house.
$800 Australian.
It's a 3-bedroom in Gawler.
Yeah, with the exchange at the moment. But yeah, had a quick chat to him, and yeah, he was like, he was pretty excited that we're from Australia, listening to his music in this bar in San Diego.
Where the fuck was I when you were having that conversation?
I think you left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Irvo come out from the toilet and hit his table and knocked his stand over. So
Wiped out all his CDs and fucking. Was he selling CDs? Do people do that still?
he was selling merch, but yeah.
And then knocked his tip jar over and just fucking wiped
just
it all out.
fucked it.
So you tipped him, then Matt tipped it.
Yes. No, but that was quite cool. Not what I thought Guinness was going to taste like.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to have maybe 2 or 3 to really get the flavour properly, and then. But again, we were quite tired in that photo.
We'd also drank prior to that. I think we probably should have gone before. We should have gone home before we went in there.
We should.
And we went and had a Guinness and a rum and coke, a rum and dry. And that's what I reckon. I felt like shit the next day. I reckon it was just those last 2 drinks. I was just like, we didn't need to go in there. But
yeah, where were we coming from there? Oh, that
Midway. I don't know.
Nah, the yeah.
No, it's not funny. I've got
The
school.
barbecue place with the spicy margaritas. I'm pretty sure that was after that, wasn't it?
Velvet taco or something, whatever it was called.
Fuck, those spicy margaritas were off tap. They were fucking hot.
The one when we went and had Korean barbecue, that was not that night.
No, not that night. Yeah, that was good. Korean barbecue.
So we took Jonesy. Basically, anytime we found something that Jonesy hadn't done before, it was like taking our child to Disneyland. It's just like 2 gay dudes with a bald son. And we just took him in, and that was at this Korean barbecue place. What was it, like $39 a head or something?
Yeah, it was 35 US.
And that was with shrimp.
All you could eat.
Yeah, but it wasn't because the shrimp were covered in shells. It was fucked. You ate them though. You just ate the shells.
Just ended up eating them all. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered. But that beer was like a
it was a long neck.
It was a long neck, but that was just their standard beers.
Yeah,
I think
it was funny because it was all you can eat, but you can only order 4 plates of meat at a time. And we must have got there late, like at 8 o'clock, and it closed at 10. And we were still eating at 10.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Here's the bill." I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Fortunately, we had a plate full of food at that point. We couldn't eat it. It was a big day, that one. But no, that was cool.
And Jonesy's now going to go to Korean barbecue.
Yeah, take
in
Angel.
Adelaide.
Yeah. That was at the first Home Depot we went at, and that was just a range of Miracle Grow that they had there, and some Thrive products. But
the whole shelf was owned by Scott's.
Yes, essentially. And there was a couple of Simple Lawn Care or Simple Lawn Solutions there as well. In that whole thing there was only one wetting agent, and it wasn't even marketed as a wetting agent.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we went over there was to just start doing some market research around the retail packaging and what's getting sold in America. And obviously this was only one city in the state. But it was interesting just to see what size packs are, how the applications are being made, what chemicals are being sold. Like there was more chemical, like insecticide, herbicide than there was fertilizer.
I was surprised by that.
It's very America. It's like killing is more important than living.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't worry about the health of the lawn, worry about the death of the stuff that affects the lawn. It's kind of.
And they had a pre-emergent in one of their granule fertilizer packs that has a banned substance here in Australia.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. You know, they talk. You hear about it on the internet, like, oh, you can't use that. That's but it's like, yeah, but you got stuff that literally kills people.
Yeah. Available
for ready use. But yeah, they had on where this photo was taken on the other side. Yeah, there was just a wall of bifenthrin products, just hose-on packs, perimeter spray barriers and stuff. And to the right of that photo, there was about 8 pallets of just all bug killers. And
I think the biggest takeaway for me was it gave me confidence about going to the US. Well, there's just I don't feel that competing with this range.
Nah.
Like, could you imagine our bottles on that shelf? They would stick out like fucking dog's balls. Like you wouldn't. There's nothing else there that's anything like what we're doing. And it's very. I feel like this is very immature. and that what we're
Yeah.
selling is quite mature. And it's obviously going to require an education play for us with our social media, but it gave me a lot of confidence that we could go to the US and sell Lawnhub without too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's going to be pitfalls and things to overcome and governance
and things to learn as well. But
yeah,
no, and like you said before, it was only one state and it was California. But that it was fine. It probably answered a lot of questions going into 2 or 3 shops and go, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
we'll be able to do that.
Yep.
So.
Because the online side of it, there's only really one player. There's a few, we found 2 or 3, but none of them are mature.
Nah.
So, it's very much ready to rock and roll.
Oh yeah, that was
I felt like that was like the most symbolic American style.
We had the flags, the ute.
Yeah, like
or
Home
the truck,
Depot.
yeah,
like an old Chev, just rocks in the garden bed.
Remember that on the way down to San Diego where we saw that rusted out truck?
Like it had been, like it was the paint job.
Yeah, it was like restored.
It was a C10 Chev.
Yeah, it was fucking wicked, and he all knew we were looking too. He loved it.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. But no, that was cool. Home Depot, for those of you that aren't aware, is literally like Bunnings but orange. Their shelves are orange.
It's what Bunnings would have copied.
Yeah,
I would say.
it's obviously well established.
They're massive.
I think this one or the other one we went to had like sod grass ready to go. They had sheds already pre-built out in the car park. And
how weird is their architecture compared to ours?
it's different.
Like the sheds are like
they're
weird.
barns. They're barns.
But even like the rock faces that they put on houses and like the black marble and the wood grain and the purples and the browns, like it's so different.
It is very different.
Like, I was looking at something the other day. I was like, if I built a house in America, I'd have to build it like how we have them here.
Yeah.
You know, rendered and clean lines.
It'd be so different.
Yeah, people go, what the fuck is that? That's disgusting. So, so we went to Home Depot a couple of times.
That was Shake Shack.
Shake Shack's.
That was good.
My favourite place.
That burger was juicy. The one thing I will say, and obviously you hear about it and shit, but like tipping, right? No one served us at this Shake Shack.
You don't have to tip there.
No. But the fact that it was an option just baffled me. Like, we did the ordering ourselves and all someone did was bring it out to us. There was no service, other than bringing it out to us. But I can only safely assume that that'd be part of someone's job, right? Like, but no, other than that, Shake Shack was really nice. That was in Little Italy. Little Italy,
yeah.
Yeah, Little Italy. That was, and American Coke there, different to Australian Coke.
Yeah, talk about that. So before we left, Adriana and Isaac were saying
you have to try Mexican Coke in the glass bottle,
which we did
on the second day. That was fine. And then American Coke after that, and they do taste all the same. I had one here Monday at work, like an Australian, like our Coke, and I felt like ours tasted a bit dusty. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know.
Not as crisp.
Yeah, it wasn't as crisp. Was probably the word.
Like the flavor, not the feeling, not the mouthfeel.
Yeah, the flavor.
I think that from what I remember, someone saying that they use corn.
That's right.
They use cornstarch or corn sugar in America, and they use actual sugar in Mexico or something.
Yeah,
corn syrup as the sugar source in America.
Like that. Yeah.
And Australia, fuck knows.
I'm
starting to think we're just getting diluted versions of everything.
Yep.
Like Doritos have got me rotten.
That did rock you, didn't it?
I've had to buy another bag. I was like, surely I just got like the bottom of the hopper that was just like, like I had to wash my fingers. You weren't licking them. No. Like it was like Jonesy asked to.
Yeah,
but
I
was just like, it's wash it off, right?
But no, Shake Shack was good.
I love it there, man. And it's funny, when I was in Japan, I had Shake Shack. I didn't realize that I thought it was just in America, but they have it in like Tokyo, Osaka, just not here. Be interesting if they could do it here. I'm guessing our food laws probably prohibit them from making them taste as good. And it just wouldn't work.
Probably.
Yeah. Can't put that in the bun.
Nope.
Can't put fucking fiberglass fibers in there.
Now that was side of the road hot dogs. So I can't remember where we were coming back from, but we were full, and there was this.
You both said I'm fucked. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
And then you started like buying it, and I was fuck it, we're getting one. But we're walking back to where we'll stay in the Airbnb, and on the corner. So along a lot of the roads, there was no carting or whatever they said, no stand allowed. But
not. What were they like? Yeah, you couldn't sell wares from the side of the road.
Yeah, but there was corners that you could, and this was one of the corners.
So you've just got a lady with a wok. I'm not sure if it's the next photo. No.
Yeah,
There's a lady with a wok and just heaps of vegetables.
capsicums or peppers, as they
Onion,
call them.
Chilies, sausages wrapped in bacon. So this is is it a Sorensen dog? Just a sweetbread roll with the hot dog. So you'll find they sell these outside of like the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking like the NFL. We went to a game at SoFi and there's fucking 30 of them
Yeah,
all
I believe
standing
it.
next to each other, all selling exactly the same shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, how many do you have to sell to survive?
Yeah.
Like,
But that place, like, and we're obviously quite vigilant, but we needed to make sure that everything was fresh and
I don't give
everything.
a fuck. I was eating it.
I was diligent because I didn't want to get sick, but that was all fresh. Like everything tasted fresh.
I would much rather have a hot dog from the side of the road there than Indonesia
Yeah, that's probably fair.
or Thailand,
But no, that was
which I've done, and it's fine.
That was really nice. That one.
It was also funny. She didn't have FPOS and I didn't have cash, so I was
Yeah.
just like, "Who's got cash?"
Yeah, so Evo, I think it was
$9 each.
$9
$27.
each. So Evo gave her $30 and said keep the change, and she was so grateful and like did the like
like the twin bar,
Yeah.
tap the money on
yeah.
everything.
It was
Well, $9 for that hot dog. I'd say if we lived there, they were $4.
yeah,
As
easy.
soon as she heard our accent, she's like
Got him.
the Conor McGregor, like crack out the red panties.
Yeah.
We're eating tonight.
But no, so that would have been like
Can you see the bag underneath it on the left?
yes,
That's my Doritos.
it is.
I
It
also had
is.
I reckon I ate them when I got back after having the
Yeah,
hot
you
dog
did.
as well.
You did.
I ate the whole fucking bag.
Well, I think that's when we discovered the Doritos.
Yeah, it was on
wasn't
the way. We went
Yeah.
to the 7-Eleven. I got
Yes.
them. And because we'd eaten so much,
Yeah.
but I wasn't full.
No, but we got waters as well.
Yeah.
Waters and Doritos and then hot dogs.
Yeah.
Or whatever they called.
Had we been there before? I think we'd been there. So the next photo is a bunch of American barbecue,
Oh, cornbread,
coleslaw, pasta, bake,
mac and cheese.
mac and cheese, sorry, and cornbread. Fuck, that was good with whipped butter.
It was.
I could have
yeah.
just had that.
Yeah, it was very nice. Because she said, what did they say? What did she say?
Because
That people
fight over it, yeah.
fight over their cornbread. But no, that was nice. That was all slow cooked meat.
So we went and ate there. I reckon it was walking back from there, and everyone was like, "I'm not having any more food," and I was like, I was gonna get a hot dog."
Yeah, but no, that was nice. Yeah, some of the pieces were a bit dry.
The one I had in Texas, it shat on that.
Well, it would have because it's obviously that's their bread and butter. But no, that was another nice place. Very hot, spicy margaritas.
They were ridiculous.
They were very, very hot.
Yeah, almost to the point of undrinkable.
Well, I couldn't finish the second one. It was just It was just ridiculous. It was just
It
ridiculous.
was weird. We booked that place online at that booth, like the talk table.
Yeah, that's right.
And then she wouldn't let us sit there. And then some people walked in, sat there, had a drink and left. I was like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's right. That was at
Craft Coast.
Craft Coast. So they were my first introduction to proper.
Kind of the first food we ate, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Because
was.
we got the car from the airport and we were driving down from LA to San Diego.
But there was a crash. There was a crash, so we pulled off.
I don't know. I think I was just like, fuck it, let's go have some. I was hungry and I
Yeah.
started searching stuff up and Oceanside was like on
Just
the way.
there.
And I was like, fuck, let's go back to Craft
Yeah.
Coast.
So we went there, ate that. That was my first introduction to, other than what Adriana and Isaac have made, tacos and yeah.
They're different, weren't they? Like,
They were very different, yeah. And I think my comment along the lines was, well, this definitely ain't no old El Paso. And that, if I'm being honest,
is that what you expected everything to be? Old
no,
El Paso?
if I'm being honest, the old El Paso range does a disservice to the proper,
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's
proper
racist and
It's
dishonest.
just-
yeah.
like what I learned, eating tacos like that, they're meant to be messy. They're supposed to be shit going everywhere, full of flavor, full of fat, full of everything.
Yeah, oils and cheeses.
Yeah.
And
And then, you can probably see in the right-hand side there, but glass bottle of Mexican Coke.
that was your first. Yeah, because we had beers. I went there and bought all the beers. So they had 1 liter takeaway cans.
That's right.
And
yeah.
they were on special.
1 quart.
If you bought, it was 937 mils or something. 16 ounces? It was fucking massive. Maybe 20 ounces.
32 fluid ounces,
That's
wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was, so they were a liter a can.
It was ridiculous. It was
and
like,
they were like a can, like the kind of thing you could see an American putting in like a fucking cannon and shooting at someone. Like
legit.
it's 3 times the size of it. No, it's double the size of an NSFW bottle, but it was just The diameter was like
Yeah,
that.
it was just thick.
And I was like, oh, I'll just get. They had a double IPA there that I really liked, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get good beer again in America, so fuck it, let's get them. So it was 15% off if you bought a 3-pack. So we bought the 3-pack, and I gave it to you. I went to take a piss, and you're like, bro, this is fucking
One of them was fizzing. Yeah,
because they can it live, like they put it into the can, and then I guess click on like they still roll.
Yeah,
the,
they must
the
have.
thing
Yeah.
And then what we drank? Oh, there's no drinking in the car.
No,
Which I didn't realize last time I was there, but this time I did. And so I had to wait till we got to the hotel, the Airbnb. It was like 30 minutes later. We shared a can,
it was petrol. Was what it was.
8.1%.
It was petrol.
It was good.
But yeah, that was just obviously it traveling.
Me, my chin, and
Yeah.
Jonesy, and my other chin.
Just traveling. But after that Craft Coast, I don't know if it's in there, but we went to so we went.
Oh no!
After Craft Coast, we went down to the Oceanside Pier area.
Well, I asked Matt to send photos, and he didn't.
No.
But he's been busy.
So we went. If those of you are familiar with the TV series Animal Kingdom,
So I'm not.
we went to Baz's house where he got shot in the driveway, which was a 12-minute walk from Craft Coast. So I went down there.
So this photo, I took this because it was us in the car. So we, I don't know if it's really a secret, but a lot of people might not know that my dream car is a Dodge Challenger. And in Australia, they're really expensive for what they are. But in America, they're fucking everywhere. They're like Holden Commodores or Ford Falcons. And we hired. So Matt was like, "What do you want to hire?" I'm like, "Get a Dodge Challenger." So there's a app called Turo. So it's peer to peer, like Airbnb for cars. So we hired this Dodge Challenger V8, and Matt just chauffeured us around, blasting. You had it before I got there.
Yeah. Well, it was a bit of a touchy moment because we thought it was the shipping container all over again. Those of you not aware, long story short,
Matt bought a magical shipping container.
Matt bought a magical shipping container, never rocked up.
What did it do? It was magic because it took your money but never arrived.
Yeah. So we landed in LAX, got the shuttle out to where the car was.
It's like this random block of land where cars parked.
It was massive.
Fucking
It was the
massive,
size of like
2 football, 4, 6, 8 football fields.
easy.
Like,
It was humongous. And we got got a picture of only the ticket and sort of where the keys were. And we went to that section where it said on the ticket, and there was 2 cars there, and none of them were the ones that we hired. So Matt managed to get in contact with him, and he sent more of the photos through that hadn't loaded or something, and we found the car, so it was all good. But
and then just flexed it.
Flexed it.
Drove it like a hire car is meant to be driven.
Yeah, bit like that. Not quite like that BMW when we were leaving.
We dropped the car back there, and we're waiting for an Uber out the front of the thing, and this BMW, like an M5, like a decent BMW, and he's just like, and straight past
fucking
us, straight out of the car park.
Sent it.
You're like, yep, that's how you hire cars.
Yeah. So we didn't quite get like that, but I think when Matt and I got it, flexed it out of there, and then went to the observatory and looked at the Hollywood sign.
Oh, they did some fucking shitty touristy shit before I got there. I'm glad you did it before I got there.
Can confirm the Hollywood sign is definitely still there.
Oh God. Yeah. I got there. I got off the plane. What did you guys pick me up?
You said it'd just be easier to Uber, and then just what we did. Otherwise, we would have been driving around LAX for 3 hours while you got through security.
I forgot about airport security and how shitty LA is to get into, and just 2 hours in the line. Yeah, and I was the first one because I got off the plane first. I was like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, so we caught an Uber to your place, and you were just leaving.
No, we were behind you, so you got out the car and we were eating our breakfast burritos.
Yeah. You like them too, didn't you?
They were very good.
Didn't get a photo of that. Matt might.
Matt might have.
We'll have to do another series.
Yeah, they were good.
So you liked America?
Liked America. Did also learn a lot of NPCs.
Oh, gosh. Tell them about that. Explain what an NPC is.
Yeah, so NPC, those of you not aware, is like a non-player character. So if you're playing GTA...
Which is where this is set.
It is. So GTA 5 is set in California. So, like LA, around that area. And so I suppose if you're playing as Michael, for example, on GTA and you don't do anything and the NPCs will just do weird shit, well, you come out of your Airbnb and people doing weird shit. You walk down the road and people doing weird shit. A lot of NPCs. a lot of just a lot of everything. So a lot of people,
A lot of everything. There's a lot of people.
a lot of people, yeah. But no, it was not at one point in time did I feel unsafe as well. It was
That's a big takeaway for me as well. I think that for a lot of Australians, there's this perception that America, like you're just walking along the street and there's just fucking gunfire and people are getting shot. And like, did you see a gun when we were there?
I didn't see a gun.
Did you see a police officer? We saw one or two police officers.
Yeah, saw very few police officers.
Like,
actually.
there's no crime, no running down the streets and screaming. And we were out in Gaslamp in San Diego at night.
At the party section, yeah. I think the one thing that when we'll talk, like, because obviously weed's legal there, and like if you're like, for me, I can't stand the smell of it, but it took me 2 or 3 days and I was used to it, didn't care. But
You had to get over that because it wasn't going away.
yeah, it wasn't going away. But like we were talking to some people and they were saying that like since the decriminalisation of it and making it legal, like that part of crime had completely stopped.
Yeah, because no one's selling dime bags on the side of the road.
Yeah, and there's no hostility about anything. So
Because everyone's stoned.
yeah, that's right. So it was fine. Obviously there's other states that are different and areas, but you just don't put yourself in those situations. You know,
I said that. Yeah,
you got to read the play as well. Like
I said that to. I was talking to someone at Jack's basketball training last night. She was asking about Japan. She's like, "It's really safe." I'm like, "Well, everywhere's really safe as long as you stay inside the lines." Like she was walking around the oval at this school in like Golden Grove, and I'm like, "You're safe here, right?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Would you wear what you're wearing now at 3 a.m. on Hindley Street and walk around on your own?" She's like, "No." I'm like,
yeah, it's all
same with LA.
situational.
Like
yeah.
you just don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Japan would have spots that aren't safe. It's fucking few and far between. But
Gawler's got places that aren't safe.
yeah, the boundaries of Gawler.
But no, it was a very fun trip. Obviously, very fortunate, so very thankful. But yeah, to be honest, now that I've been there, I was saying this to someone this morning, like without sounding like an idiot, like or a dickhead. Now that I've been there, sort of ticked it off. Be good to go back and do other things.
The reason because my dad was like, "Why is there so many of you going? It seems like an excess." And I'm like, "Well, I need Matt there so that he can do adult stuff, and I need Jonesy there so that this is kind of a handover, so that we can go as we start to launch Lawnhub in America. I can send you on your own now, and you know how to go through security and like it's even if you're a fucking adult human being, it's still daunting to like
yeah,
navigate all that
absolutely.
shit and,
like you hear about the horror security stories and stuff, and like Matt got the 3rd degree coming into the country here. He had to get every single piece of evidence that he had in terms of his
like why are you here?
Like why are you here? So he needed his return plane ticket, which is fine. That's on an app, so that's all good. His tickets for the golf course superintendent of America, his Airbnb, his asked if he had cash, and then his car hire. Yeah. Like, and for me, my guy was chill. Just got
I
me
was the same. He's like,
do
what are
my
you here for?
fingerprints
I'm like,
and
golf conference. He's like, got any cash on you? I'm like, $2,000 Australian. He's like, have a nice day.
Yeah, so my guy was like literally maybe a minute, and
it's because he's got that face. He's just like, he's like waiting for an argument face.
Yeah.
That's all.
But, not saying I would have crumbled, but I would have been nervous. Like, fuck.
I'm going to get the special searches.
You
got to pay extra for them in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. But no, it was good. It was, and then obviously went to the Hunter Factory as well.
Yeah, tell me about that. So, because I didn't go to that, because fuck that.
Yeah, well, I knew you'd be like that. But you've already done it, haven't you?
Even when I did it, I was like, is there an express one?
Fair enough.
Because I can't stand here for this long. And they know that. Hunter, I know enough people at Hunter now where they just curate an experience that suits me. So when we were there, Matt and I were meant to meet with like 6 product managers over a 45-minute meetings times 6. And Tess just goes, Clint's not going to be able to handle that. Can we put all of the product managers in one room for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
And then they all just fire questions at him. And and so they did that. Heaps better.
Well, it worked. So.
Oh, fuck. The whole day.
Yeah.
Like, this is an MP rotator. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Matt did ask a good question to the product manager of MP Rotators, and I understood it. I think his answer was quite political, but I also understood where he was coming from. It's a bit like us in our 1 and 5 litre bottles that don't exist yet, but there's a reason why.
But that's commercially sensitive, or it's not publicly facing. I know because you guys had that presentation on. I know you weren't there. you were off talking to golf fertilizer dudes.
Yes.
Matt had a presentation on the golf software with Hunter. And I was like, I can't do this. So I said, direct your conversation to him because I'll leave during the presentation. And like they started and I was like, la 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 la.
So no, we rocked up to Hunter in San Marcos there, which is
really nice. Isn't it?
It was really nice area. It was like almost university vibes.
Exactly that. And it's almost like it's too nice for manufacturing. Like, why are you making shit
so
here? This
clean.
is like, this should be something else.
Like it wasn't like back streets of, cavern manufacturing. It was like
just burning chicken carcasses.
It was like
fucking dogs.
It was like Burnside, but with this massive.
It's a bit like that. It's like, but just with that kind of Californian flair, like the grasses and the kind of dark rocks like the light rocks. So like just there's a lot of rockery.
So there was like 4 or 5 main Hunter buildings there, which all looked like streets. That was the other thing, looked like housing streets rather than warehousing streeting. But I think we started in the golf section and sort of that where they were doing a little bit of golf, but then they were also talking about the history of Hunter and all that sort of stuff, which I didn't know that he was the creator or the developer or the engineer of the hand towel dispenser as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was quite cool. Then we went from there to the PGP plastics manufacturing molding section, also on the back of MP rotators where they do all the casting. So they did all, he said it was high 90% of stuff in a Hunter sprinkler was manufactured there other than golf in that San Marcos facility, which was fucking unreal.
Yeah, clean, professional, safe.
It was clean. It was everyone was doing something like they where we walk in, they were spitting out. I think they were spitting out nozzles for the PGP. So
the nozzle racks.
Yeah, nozzle racks, and they were just falling out of this machine. And then we go around, and it's like, well, this is where this certain cap is for for this part, and then we go to the next part, and it was something else, and so on and so forth. And
a
then
spring,
like
a spring winder.
Yeah, the spring was quite good. And then in the MP rotator building, they did little brass caps, which didn't know was in MP rotators, like 15 parts in an MP rotator. And then you go from that area to the next area where they were doing sprinkler testing. So
in the what do you call it? The alien.
I know
room?
that was in the MP rotator
the
building.
Distribution uniformity room.
Yeah, this one was for like PGPs and golf rotors. So they just had, I can't remember. It was been like 27 meters of throw this one golf sprinkler had. And then he talked about how they do all their testing and distribution of uniformity or whatever. Yeah. So that was quite cool to see, like the testing that goes into all that sort of stuff. And then we went to the manufacturing of the PGP. So there was this massive like row of like little robots and stuff. And it started at no piece, and then it had one piece would come off and then go in the belt, and then all these robots. And then I think it was a minute 30 from here to here made a PGP body essentially.
The internals.
The internals. Yeah. And like I was like we could never
touring those kind of factories. Grundfos, Hunter, I don't think we did Rainbird. Was a real catalyst to me wanting to manufacture. Like I've just had this. I don't know. Even Philmac. Philmac manufacture here in North Plimpton, and I just loved the idea of taking something from nothing and turning it into something. Like retailing is fun, and it's a cog in the machine that is the supply chain. But I feel whether or not I've just evolved to a place where I enjoy that manufacturing kind of more. Like it just intrigues me, and so then a lot of like this warehouse is heavily inspired by Hunter's experience. And as we move into here more and I'd love to be able to do tours and
absolutely like they did,
like have people come in and like this is this, and it's probably not, this warehouse probably isn't the one. It'll be when we've got another warehouse that's say 4 or 5 times the size of this one, and like you can actually have people meet in a room and do like 4 or 6 people tours, and if anyone's interested, I think it'd be interesting.
Oh, well, I mean, there's I'm sure there's more people like me out there. And
then,
that's right. And then you go around the back, and then there's the actual bodies, and then the internals get put in the bodies, and then they're all, I think, was it 20 out of 1,000 were tested for leaks or something. So there was a little leak test, and then so So that was the Hunter PGP. You know, obviously quite. I think
one of the highest selling sprinklers in the world.
Yeah, so I think I can't remember the number, but it was over 300,000 sprinklers a week.
Yeah.
And then we went into the wellness center where they have a gym and PTs. And if you're a Hunter employee, I think you get the gym access for $3 a month. $6 came with something else, and then $12 was with a program.
Family and friends.
Yeah.
Like if you were related to a Hunter
Yeah.
employee.
So that was quite cool. Then we went from there to the MP rotator building, which was the same as the PGP, but for MP rotators. So it was like, you know, here's the body, here's all the robots putting it all together. And they were making 385,000 MP rotators a week. And they were just keeping up with the current demand of the world. So that was,
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. And like they had these big brass rods that would get made into this tiny part. And they found that buying that and having a machine was better for them to have complete control over the manufacturing process.
I think that, I mean, you know this, you've been here long enough, like control's a big part of what we
Absolutely.
do, right? Like knowing that you've got available supply, you've got the buckets, you've got the liquids, you've got like even Waterpro before Lawnhub even existed, when we'd start to get a sense for availability, like you just buy more because you want control. And that was ultimately why COVID had their like supply chain issues, because people wanted to control what they had. So people bought more than they needed. So there was just this glut of shit. But so what was your biggest takeaway from the trip? Like
Biggest takeaway, and I think I've been asked that question a few times, and I'm pretty sure the answer's been the same, would just be the scale of the US, just the amount of people. Like when we went from, and again, I know it's only one city, but when we went from LAX to San Diego, we would have passed millions and millions and millions of homes. Like you could drive for
probably hundreds and thousands of homes, but there's only 40 million people in the whole state of California.
it was dense. Okay, so maybe millions,
Maybe 65 under the Biden regime, but
maybe
let's say 40.
millions and millions of people. Then. But there was so many houses, and like it was just
5-lane wide highways.
It's nothing like we've got here in Australia. And I think those of you like myself previously had never been to the US and don't understand it until you see it. It's sort of one of those things that you got to see to go, fuck, you know, there's a lot of people here. And then, obviously the things that we found in Home Depot and not so much Walmart, but like those types of stores to go, okay.
Walmart was just interesting from a
it was different.
Scale.
Yeah. It's like
fucking
Kmart and Coles and everything. Garden Centre all put together. So,
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yes.
We went to Dick's.
Did go to Dick's. Went and saw Trump's wall as well.
We got really close to the wall, didn't we? We were at the border of Tijuana.
Yeah.
Why did we go down there? Matt wanted to go to the fucking DFO.
Yeah, he was trying to find a sporting shop.
Yeah.
And Disney shop. But the Disney shop was just as expensive over there as it was here.
We parked in the car park at the DFO. You could see the fence between California and Mexico. That was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Just to think how close you were.
Well, and you know, you've seen it on the
and everyone
on the TV.
in the car park was speaking Spanish.
Yes.
Like there was no one speaking English. It was fucking crazy. Like
You
you're
had
in
those
America, but it's all Spanish speaking.
Mexican trucks lined up
food trucks
and
selling-
like
Yeah. We should have
proper
eaten
food.
from those trucks.
Probably.
It couldn't be fuck lining up.
Yeah. But no, and you know, probably just the scale, and just I understand. And again, I know I've only been to one state, but I can understand that culture of the World Series a lot more now. Like, there's just so many people.
Well, because it is a world.
Essentially, yeah. And that, Los Angeles is GTA 5. Yeah. So
You didn't run anyone over.
nah.
So today is Friday on the podcast. You're at Live. What's the plan for Live? Are you going to be there for the whole weekend?
Yeah. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We get a real fortunate, or
Breakfast.
even more fortunate this year that we're the only company doing something outside of.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything else has been sourced outwards.
No
so,
shit.
Yeah. Well,
Where's your badge? We got fucking full badges and shit, eh?
Matt said that there was no.
They're not doing any other suppliers doing lunches and
shades
dinners.
because remember the other supplier put the shades up.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Do we need to take some?
Well, it's only gonna be 26 tomorrow or something, 28. But
Yeah. Well,
I'll go get those.
your skull. So I've got one.
You've got one. I think Celeste.
Oh, double-sided.
Yeah.
Fuck, your dad's head looks like a block, like from Gumby, the blockheads.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah,
It squares off down the bottom.
Not a good angle for him.
He's like one of those like wrinkly fish. Yeah, so we've got a full live working
badge.
fucking badge, which we've never had. So they've improved the way that they manage
Well,
this.
it's only taken 3 years. Finally got there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
So
we're
it's too
supposed to.
critical. We haven't got in yet.
No, not yet. Well, yeah, that's right.
So can I wear... you can just be walking around with this. Have you
Yeah.
got normal tickets as well?
Yeah, well, Angel does, but I think she's going to sell them. Because
You'll just get in with that
I
each day.
assume so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ticket, so...
Yeah, Celeste's got yours.
Yeah, but I don't have a GA ticket, so...
But no, that's exciting. They're good lanyards. Good quality.
Tell me you're from Gawler without telling me you're from
Well,
Gawler.
it's not
They're
like
good
the-
lanyards.
No, they're not like the ones we got from the conference. They were thin as.
Yeah, but they also had to make 5,000 for free.
10,500.
10,500
Yeah,
delegates.
that's how many attendees San Diego
that's one
had.
thing we probably didn't talk about was the scale of this event. Like, we spoke to shopkeepers in San Diego who were talking about how the town was busier because of this conference, and it was so big.
And
Like,
they had a conference the week before as well, like some tech thing.
yeah,
And they said that this was bigger.
Yeah.
Like all the Uber drivers were saying, like, "Are you here for the golf conference too?" And yeah. So, but yeah, 10,500 attendees. There was over 946 booths, I think.
and we got to all of them.
We did.
I think we did pretty well.
I think and again, it's just because it's not native to us, but the goose dog. Like, I'm not sure if you saw that.
Oh, they gave away a fucking dog.
Yeah, to chase the geese and the ducks on
Yeah,
the
so
on the golf
Like
course.
Syngenta sponsored that.
No, it was whoever. I think it was an Envu
Yeah,
sponsored thing. But yeah, like the company that had the dogs were there, and they would like showcasing.
It's like a cattle dog, but it
Yeah.
kept geese off of greens.
I suppose,
or
yeah.
out of courses.
I didn't. I suppose I just
But
was watching it.
They just had these fucking ducks.
Yeah, that's right. They were legitimately
and they
rounding
just
up
let
ducks.
the ducks out of a cage, and the dog would scare the fuck out of them into another cage, and then they'd lock it, and they'd let them out, and then so these geese were just permanently just under stress,
Yeah.
and this dog's permanently methed off its head, just like fucking geese,
Yeah.
fucking geese.
Get it.
Yeah,
Which
and they gave the dog away.
Yeah, and they gave the dog away if you met the certain criteria. So
It was either so you could win the dog or cash.
I don't know. I think I actually don't know, but Matt was saying that if you won the dog, your course had to have it. Like
Yeah.
it was the
Yeah.
course's dog.
Yeah, it wasn't just like because the dog's been fucking trained to go deal with that, and then all of a sudden it just sits in a backyard and just like seagull flies in, kill
Chases
it.
the next door neighbor's cat and
Yeah.
fucking
All right, well we should finish this up.
I got one last thing.
Stories.
One last thing. No, it's a present.
Dick pic. He bought me a
Yeah.
fucking present. You know I collect shot glasses.
I know.
right?
That's when I saw it.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's so good. Thank
I'm
you.
fucking getting that.
Top Gun, USS Midway. Oh, that's cool. I don't know where all my glasses are, but they're floating around somewhere. We'll put it up here for now. Thank you, mate.
It's all right. That cost about 85 million Australian.
2 Gawler houses.
Like, yeah, the exchange. Yeah, it's probably not the best.
bad, eh?
It's probably not the best time to travel the US, but
Ever
yeah.
got me my bowl?
Oh yes,
I got
yes.
a bowl for my bowls.
But
I got an iced coffee bowl yesterday on the run.
yeah,
Yeah, they're giving away Farmers Union iced coffee golf balls. Shout out to On the Run. We're looking for a petrol sponsor if they want to give us free petrol.
yeah. That's right. I left the OTR down the road from me was a BP. Came back now it's a Shell.
Yeah,
so-
a lot of them are Shell now.
Well, that's what they are. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, they're changing to Shells.
Rightio.
All
All right, well, have fun. And I guess Friday week, you and I will both be here.
I'll definitely be here.
I think I'll be here. I've got to go to Brisbane. But anyway, we'll work it out. Yeah, keep it green. And hopefully we'll be live again soon. It's been a while. And I do miss live. It's
But yes,
much more
just
interesting.
to be clear, we had full intentions going live last Friday.
It's the first podcast we've missed for a year.
Yeah. And we probably should have said that, hey, no podcast apologies, but it was proper hectic.
Yeah.
It was out of our
So sorry to
control,
the 6 of you that actually give a fuck.
but no, we had full intentions going live from LAX, like noobs.
Yeah.
To talk to
We had all the
Australia.
gear, just no idea.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
take care. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, I'm an innocent bystander. They saying I drove a getaway car, but I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent.
Come on, let's go.